Intro. Hey everybody, this is Mona Bodine, and I'm excited to welcome all of you to my new podcast, Uptown with Mona. You may have heard me before, hanging with JP Justice in the morning, or sometimes the afternoon, or maybe even the evening. But now, here we are on my podcast, where we will be engaging with various hip hop artists, poets, and entrepreneurs. So come listen and hang out with Mona Baudet and Uptown with Mona. They love Mona. They don't love JP. That shit is so funny. That's the funniest shit. Yo, hey everybody, what's going on? This is me, Mona Baudet. And listen, I want to welcome you guys. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting me on my new endeavor. Finally, doing my own podcast. So I'm so happy to be here. And, I'm thrilled to be sitting and talking with icons from my era because I come from the 80s hip hop era, sitting in the park uh, with the DJs, lighting everything to the lampposts and all that stuff. That's where I come from. So, but today I'm really excited to have this opportunity to sit with the dopest icon that I know. Okay. Now, for reference, for just to let you guys know, the session is called 16 Bars, 16 Questions, 16 Bars. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my guest for the evening, a true pioneer from old school hip hop, a legend, a definite legend in the game. Let's give a warm hand clap or finger snap for the one and only Mighty Mike C.
What's good?
Hey,
What's good?
hey,
What's
what's going
good?
on? What's going on, honey? How you
I'm Mona.
doing?
Everything's
What's
good.
what's
I'm
going
blessed.
on?
I'm blessed. I'm here with you. So talk to me. How's my
Yes,
day?
yes, yes. First of all, before we start, how was your day?
My day was cool. It was cool. I didn't do a lot today. I did laundry today.
Mm-hmm.
I just basically kind of chilled home and kind of smoked and chilled. It was like a real, because it was a nice day. It wasn't as nice as it was yesterday, but
Right,
it was still nice. So when I went out before I did my laundry, I took a walk. I, went to the store and all that. It was cool. It was
right, right,
chill.
right.
So I didn't really do much. I just kind of relaxed and kind of just got ready for the show tonight.
Okay, okay, me too. I was here racking my brain with Miss Tamika in the background because I've been nervous for the past. I told you I've been nervous all week.
Uh, right,
And I was
right,
like, you know what? Let me get over that nervousness and just do what I got to do because this is the start of a new era for me. This is something new
right.
for me. So, you know. Yeah, so we got 16 questions, 16 bars,
Mhm.
okay? And so we're gonna start with the first question. Come on, Tamika. Okay. How did Mighty Mike C start? Where did Mike come from?
Okay, this is how I actually started in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard hip hop prior. Like hip hop started in 1973, so I definitely heard it, but I wasn't really feeling. It's not like I wasn't feeling it, but I wasn't up on it like that. I was still in the R&B music, and you know, and it wasn't nobody, no real MCs and DJs. It was basically still kind of disco at
Right,
that point,
right, right.
right? But when I went to junior high school, I'll never forget this. I was in seventh grade. In seventh grade, and there was a guy in the eighth grade that was mad cool. I got cool with him, and his name was Jimmy West, and he
Uh-huh.
was from Drew Hamilton houses. And one day, like we was cool the whole year, but one day we was in the lunchroom, and Jimmy West started beating on the table and started saying these rhymes. And when he started saying these rhymes, all the girls kind of levitated toward him. It was amazing to me. I was like, yo. And I never heard anything like this. It was like when I heard people rhyme, it was more like I've heard Abbott and Costello or
Right,
Dr. Seuss. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But this Jimmy West is saying rhymes about himself. And I'm like, yo, and he was going and they called me Jimmy West. And every time he did it, the girls was like, yo, they was crowding around, everybody was crowding around. And I said, you know what? I like that. And I'm going to take that idea because I really like that. I love the fact that you can get girls like that. It was all about hip hop was all about getting girls back in the day. So,
Right.
you know, so I went home, and I think it was like 2 days later. I came back, and I could always play drums. And my cousin and my family taught me how to play drums, so I know how
Right.
to beat on the table. My older brother taught me how to beat on the table, so I could beat on the table and recite poetry or recite a speech from President Obama, you know, and it would be to a beat. So anyway, I'm beating on the table, and I decided to say the rhymes that I wrote.
Right.
And he gravitated toward me. Now, at this point, I was not Mike C. My name was MC Shoe, right? I called myself Shoe.
Why?
So the reason I called myself Shoe is a whole nother story, all right?
Right.
Right, that's something else. That I don't think that's part of the question. It's a whole nother story. It's strange too. But so anyway, I was Shoe at that point. And I started rhyming, and I started getting people around me, and started getting popular. And I got some friends, and we started calling ourselves Shoe and the Crew. From that, we gravitated toward my boys in Manhattanville in 1470, where I'm from, Kenny Graham and Kev Ski, and them. They formed a group. They formed a crew called the Rock City Crew, and it was like about 11 or 12 of us. And I remember because we all got black T-shirts, and back then, remember you could put the lettering on your shirt.
Yes.
We all had Rock City Crew on our shirt with our names in the back. And I didn't have Shoe because the day we was going to get our shirts, Kenny Graham was like, yo, don't put Shoe on the back of your shirt. Why are you calling yourself Shoe? Why don't you just call yourself Mike C? And it didn't take, I mean, I thought about it. Like, I thought about it real hard. Like, Mike C, Shoe, like, you know, that shit would fuck with me. I thought about it for a minute. I mean, I thought about it. It had to be like the longest 5 seconds of my life. And then I changed my name to Mike C. And I've been Mike C ever since.
And how did you meet DLB, Tito, and Peso?
Peso I grew up with in 1470. We all grew up in Manhattanville in 1470. So me and Peso grew up together. DLB and Tito was in my class in junior high school. And Tito used to rhyme and I used to rhyme, right? So you know, that was cool. So I did a talent show.
Right.
Yeah. Me and Peso's cousin, Marky Pendergrass. The Pendergrass is Peso's cousin, and they're also related to Teddy Pendergrass. The father's Teddy Pendergrass' cousin.
No
so,
kidding.
Yeah, so they have the families of band, like the Partridge Family type thing. You know what I'm saying? This one play this one play that. So the drummer was a young guy named Marky. Mark used to play the drums, and I practiced with Mark and made rhymes and had him do the beats and all that. And we joined the talent show. This is the first time anybody in the scene seen anything like this. All right, so it was really amazing to them. For him playing on the drums and I'm doing the rhymes, and we had the intro, and it was crazy. And when he said "take that," and I'm rhyming, then I hit him with the super sperm. He played super sperm on the drum. The crowd was going bananas. They screaming, they standing in the chairs, and right then is when I realized this is it. This is what I want to do. I'm going to be an entertainer. I love this. I love what just happened. I'm never changing. And I've been doing this like this and feeling myself like this and making sure that I stay working ever since.
Right. That's dope. I remember hearing, you know, the first jam that I went to, I was about 15 or 14. I told my mother I was going to stay at my girlfriend's house, and we went to this jam up at Stevenson High School in the Bronx, right?
All right.
I went to that party, and yeah, there we go. I was a B girl, you know. I was trying to be down, you know. I was a nerd trying to be down, right?
I see you.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I fell in love with hip hop.
All right.
That was before house music, but that's another story. I fell in love with hip hop, and I was like, wow, I want to be down with this. I want to do this. But we have another story. That's another story for another time.
All right.
Now, let me ask you another question.
Okay.
What was the biggest challenge you faced breaking into the hip hop industry during the 80s and the 90s?
The biggest challenge I faced was actually getting the record deal.
Okay.
Because the way I had to do it to get our first record deal, when we made It's Magic, and the same label where we made Rockin' It was Enjoy Records.
Right.
Enjoy Records was like the door opening for a lot of artists. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that was on Enjoy Records went to Sugar Hill. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five was on Enjoy Records. They went to
Right.
Sugar Hill Records. Funky
Right.
4+1 was on Enjoy Records. They went to Sugar Hill Records.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Treacherous 3 was on Enjoy Records. They went to Sugar Hill Records. And we used to
Mm.
hang, you know, Treacherous 3 and us grew up together because they're from Convent Abbey, we're from Manhattan. So we all grew up, we used to hang. I used
No
to go,
kidding.
yeah, we used to hang all the time. I used to go when Treacherous 3 first started blowing up with At the
Oh,
Party and Body Rock and Feel a Heartbeat.
I
I used
love
to
them.
go
I
with them
love
to
them. I love
shows.
them.
I used
Yes.
to go with them to shows. And after
Mm-hmm.
the show, we would go to the diner right there. They used to be on over there by the Hudson River. There used to be a diner right there.
Uh-huh.
And we used to go right after that. It was a nice time. We used to go and stay. It'd be like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and we there eating pancakes. But we would do this every weekend because I would go with them to shows. And
Right.
oh, so anyway, those are my boys. So anyway, um, I did the talent show and I rocked the talent show. So the next year they wanted me to do the talent show again, do the talent show again. But this time I said, nah, this is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some MCs together and I might do it with them or I'll let them do it by themselves. I had already had Tito, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
I had Peso already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I had to find another MC. So we had an MC contest, right?
Uh-huh.
And the MC contest, whoever would win, I was gonna put in the group. So
Uh-huh.
we had this in the auditorium. So a lot of MCs came and everybody performed for me. And it got down to DLB, a guy named Mike G.
Mm-hmm.
Mike G was a good friend of mine. And I
Uh-huh.
had just met DLB. I knew DLB because I used to let him get on, after I heard his skills, I would let him get on the microphone. So
Right.
I knew of him, but I didn't know of him like that. I didn't know him, but I knew Mike G. Mike G was my man. But to me, DLB was way better, right? But anyway, the thing
Mm-hmm.
was, it was down to them. So the only way to settle it, because we didn't want nobody hurt nobody's feelings, was
Right.
to put the names in the hat, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
have somebody pick the name out. Whoever they pick
Wow.
out, that would be the winner. So the guy, we
Wow.
put the names in the hat, and we dug in, and we pulled it out, and we read it, and it said DLB.
Mm-hmm. And how
Right?
old were you guys? How old are you guys?
Let me finish the story though.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. I could imagine.
The funny part of the story is the only names in the hat was DLB.
Oh, oh shit. They didn't want him in the group anyway.
I wanted DLB down with me. After I heard him rhyme, it was no
Right.
way I wasn't
Right.
letting. He was like 100 times better than my man Mike. Mike
Right.
was
Right.
cool,
Right.
but he was like 100 times better than him. And I was like, yo, and DLB was young. He was only like 16. So I
Right. Right.
had to put him in. I had to. So I formed those guys together. And they had the group. They had the group called the House Rockers Crew. They had another guy down with them named Mike Ski, and they
Uh-huh.
were the Fearless Four.
Mike Ski.
Mike Ski, right?
I used to get them confused. I used to get you and him confused. Like, why is he in both groups?
No, no, yeah,
No, I know. I used to think that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was Mike Ski and all of them. Then DLB left the group,
Uh-huh.
so they asked me to be there, and I joined the group. And DLB came back. Now we were the Fearless Five.
Oh, okay.
Then Mike Ski left the group. We was
Uh-huh.
practicing every day, and he stopped coming to practice. He was like, "Yo, man, y'all clown." He started hustling, selling drugs. Like, y'all clown, man. Y'all ain't gonna make no money, man. That shit ain't gonna go nowhere, man. I don't know why y'all doing that bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? Every day, we gonna practice every day. Are you crazy, man? With this
Ah,
money out here, and I had him on the phone one day. We didn't have a speakerphone, but it was all around the phone, and he was just going off on us. So we said, "Okay,
uh,
cool." So we started practicing without him and cutting out his part and all that, and um. Bobby Robinson, who was the owner of Enjoy Records, his office was right there on 125th in
mhm,
Broadway.
mm,
And I knew the secretary. The secretary was this old dude. He was a cool dude. He used to just get high and drink beers and tell stories. So I
right.
used to cut school every day and go to his office and sit in his office every day, just chilling with him, hoping that Bobby Robinson would come in. And Bobby would come and see me, but he would always leave. I ain't got no time. I got to go. I'm on speed. So he would leave. And I stayed doing this for about 6 months. I stopped going to school doing it. Every time I leave to go to school, I would just go to that office and stay there all
Right.
day for
Right.
about
Right.
6, maybe 7 months. Then one day Bobby said, "Okay, let me hear what you got. Let me hear what you got, because you're always here." And it just so happened Tito was with me, and we did a routine that we practiced. And when he heard it, he was like, "So you say it's 4 of y'all, right?" We said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, let me hear the other 2 tomorrow." The next day, all 4 of us came in. We started doing the routine from his magic, and as we were doing it, Bobby picked up the phone, made a call, and when we finished, he hung up the phone. He said, "You guys gonna be in the studio tomorrow, 4:30. We're gonna meet."
Wow.
And the rest is history.
Wow. Things were so different back then.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
telling you. So here we go. How do you think the message and themes in hip hop have evolved since the 80s and the 90s?
It to me, and I'm gonna give it to you the way I see it.
Go
It's
ahead.
more like it's like a how you call it, like a mountain, like a meter. Because at one point, everybody was getting wise and waking up on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then it just dropped down. That's when
Right.
gangster rap came in. Now it's more about the streets and not really self about yourself. It's more about money, then, right? And then it
Mm,
started getting smart again, and then it started getting dumb again, and then so it's going up and down, up and down. And I'm not knocking what it is because it is what it is. Regardless of what it is, it's still hip hop. You know what I'm
right.
saying? The hip hop is my life. So I'm not going
Mhm.
to knock it, but my opinion is that it goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. And it's strange in that way because one minute you're talking about how us as a people should do this and do that, and the next minute you're talking about smack that hoe and kill that bitch and shoot
Right.
this nigga. And then the next time we hear you, you're talking about, well, we got to get this president Obama involved in such and such, such and such, and we're going to vote for this and vote for that. Then the next time I hear you, it's back to I'm selling keys and drugs and such and such. So it throws me for a loop.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? It throws me
Right.
for a loop.
Yeah, I
But I'm
get
not
it.
going to knock it because art is art. And
Mm-hmm.
everything that they do, regardless of how somebody may see it, somebody else gonna see it totally different. Because
Right.
and that's because of the art. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? So it's an art. So people can say what they say. Like I may not like a lot of stuff, but just because I don't like it, that don't mean 20 other million people aren't gonna like it also.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I understand. So you said something about gangster rap.
Hmm.
That's my next question.
Okay.
How did you navigate the rise of gangster rap in the 90s and its impact on the genre?
Gangster rap came when we it kind of came when it needed to come. It's
Hmm.
just that it stayed too long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It needed to be heard. People needed to know what was going on as far as the streets. And I'm not talking about here in New York City because it didn't start. The gangster rap didn't start here. Gangster rap, when I first heard it, it was coming out of LA, out of Compton.
Right.
All right. And I'm not even talking about the nasty words or whatever that Luke Skywalker and them did because they never did gangster rap. They just did a lot of freaky party records. Pump that booty, shake that ass,
Right. Right.
Lulu Brown. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never say nothing about the hood. It was just way that hoe at, way that hoe at. You know what I mean? So, but when you talk about gangster rap, the gangster rap that I started hearing was from NWA, Ice Cube, and Tim Dog. Those are the people that started talking gangster rap. And at the time when
Hmm.
it first started, to me, it was fire.
Right.
When Dr. Dre had the album The Chronic out, I thought that was like the work of art. I could not
Right.
believe I found a hip hop album that I wanted to hear every record on there. Like
Right.
you could just put it on and let it play. And at that time, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but
Hmm.
at that time, I wasn't smoking weed. But when I heard that album, I was like, light that shit up, yo.
Oh
And
my
I was gone with it. And then after that, he came back with another banger when he came with Snoop,
Yes, he
with
did.
Snoop's first album, and that was a banger. And that was the time when I was hustling too, and me
Hmm.
hustling and smoking, and that shit playing. And that was, oh my God, I'll never forget the feelings that I got when I would hear those records, those albums.
I
And then
get it.
we started evolving. Now after that, now gangsters coming toward New York, and now you're hearing Nas, and he's talking
Hmm.
about his hood, right? And you're
Hmm.
hearing Biggie and all these other people, and everybody's talking about their hood, which is cool. but nobody taught their kids that the trick about the hood, the thing about the hood is to get out of the hood.
Right.
Nobody taught their kids to get out of hood. So now their kids are now rhyming, are now talking about how good it is to be in the hood,
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to trying to get out the hood. Their thing is to make all this money, but still be in the hood.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the hood, such and such. And me and my boy, they show a bunch of niggas with guns and shit. You here with $50 million, but you got a bunch of niggas with guns behind you. It doesn't make sense. But at the same time, like I said earlier, it's art.
Mm.
It's art to somebody. This is what I'm saying. You might not like it. I may not like it. But trust me, it's 50 million people that sit there and go, yo, that shit is it. And if they can make money by doing that without
Yeah.
killing each other and it's legal, knock
Mm.
yourself out.
I hear that. I mean, I guess I can agree. I could kind of sort of agree with that. I'm not a big gangster rap fan at all. I don't
Exactly.
like
But
that.
did you like Dr. Dre?
Absolutely, I did.
Did you like Snoop?
Yeah, somewhat.
How about Biggie? When did it stop?
When did it stop?
When did you stop feeling gangster rap? Because I felt it all the way. Like Jay-Z, I loved his album. I love Biggie. I love Nas. I
Well,
think it
he's
stopped for me when I wasn't really feeling Cameron and them and they fire. Oh, look at that thing.
mm,
That's me and Nas.
mm-hmm,
Nas wrote something really nice about me on Instagram,
mm-hmm.
and I had seen him when I went to the Essence, and I had never met him, and I went and said, "Yo, I'm Mike C," and he's like, "Yes, you are." He said, "Yo,
What?
because what he wrote was um when he was a kid. I think I performed in Queensbridge, and his
Mm-hmm.
mother held his hand while he danced when I was rhyming or something. Yeah, wrote something real
Wow.
nice. I'm gonna send it to you because I
Yeah, send it to
have
me.
it.
I would like to see it. I would
Let me
like
send
really
it to
like to
you.
see that.
And he had posted it on Instagram. I was like, "Yo, that's hot." So when I met him, I thought I just wanted to thank him for writing something like that. He was like,
Right.
"Hey, my pleasure, man. If it wasn't for you, this and that and that and this."
Yes, yes. I went from hip hop straight to house music and disco
Good, good,
when
good.
I got older.
Right, 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 right,
So I love hip hop, and I told you before, my favorite group is Treacherous Three.
right, right.
The,
That's
the
my
first,
brother, L.A.
those were
Sunshine.
the first rap group that I heard outside of Rappers Delight.
Uh,
Everybody knew Rappers Delight,
right, 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 right.
So, and then there was Mighty Mike C.
Ah, ah.
So let me ask you this: when you're writing, when writing or recording a song, what was your main source of inspiration during the 80s and 90s? Was there that woman, that chick, that young girl that you saw across the street, and it was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna write her a song, or, something like that?
Nah, I think that might be an inspiration for a lot of other people. My inspirations, whenever I was writing, I would look back at my childhood. And when I say
Mm,
my childhood, I look at people like Danny Kaye. I don't know if you remember Danny Kaye, but he had a movie.
mm-mm.
It was a musical, and it's about the ugly duckling. And he goes, "There once was an ugly duckling." And through the movie, here at one part, he did this thing where he rhymed for like 42 bars. And it was just crazy. And I heard, I was watching Abbott and Costello one time, and they was on the Navy. And he said, "Tell me what's wrong." He said, "Well, there's too much duckling, too much soup, too much." All
Yeah,
of that
I remember that. I
inspired
remember
me.
that. I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
All of that inspired me. That stuff.
Uh,
Whenever I thought about rhyming, I would think of that. And I remember it was a record my mother and father had by a man named Pig Meat Markham called "Here Come the Judge." And
uh-huh.
it go, yay,
I
yay,
remember that.
remember that?
I
And I used to
remember
play
that.
that over and over and over again. And then my father used to have all these crazy records. He had this album by a guy named Blowfly. And he used to rhyme, and his shit was just really nasty. And he was like,
I heard about
"Listen,
Blowfly. I remember
yeah,
Blowfly too. My
yeah."
grandmother had that album. My grandfather had that album.
So those were the albums and records and songs that inspired me more than anything, because I would listen to that and I would laugh at that, and then it would make me want to write, you know. And then I would take what I wrote outside. So a lot of times I would tell stories, and, my rhymes and stuff like that. So I was known to do shit like that. So that's
Right,
kind of where I opened up.
right. So now, next question. In your opinion, What was the most pivotal moment in hip hop during the 80s and 90s?
The most pivotal moment in hip hop during the 80s and 90s. I'll say I'll
Hmm.
say the night Kumo D was on stage and LL Cool J walked
Shut up.
out. We were in the same hotel. I ran into LL in the elevator. He
Hmm.
called me to his room. We went to his room. He was like, "Yo, I'm not here on no beef or nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here. You know, I'm not here for nothing, no mess." So I was like, "Well, Mo ain't starting that. Like, Mo ain't with all that. You know, just
Right.
come to the show." He said, "Well, I'm here. I'm coming to the show. Everything is cool." I didn't know that he was gonna come to the show and come out while Mo was on stage. He came and walked like right in front, like an audience. So girls are screaming and all that, and Mo is like, "Okay, no problem." So then when he left the stage, Mo has a song that he made. It's a battle record to LL called "Let's Go." And he was
Hmm.
like, "Where you at now? Where you at now, L? Let's go!" And the crowd is
Oh
going.
shit.
Yo, and I think that night was the craziest night, or the night that you're trying to pull out of me. That's that night. That's that in hip hop.
Yeah, yeah. So now, when writing and recording a song or rap, hip hop rap or whatever, what was your main source of inspiration during the 80s and 90s? We had that one already? Did we
We
do
just
that
did
one?
that one.
We
Yeah.
just did that one. Number 8. Sorry
Right.
about that. My admin. How do you feel about the fashion and the visual aspect of hip hop between the 80s and 90s and today? You know, the how.
Okay. I even mentioned this on the tour. At
Mm-hmm.
one point in hip hop, like the 80s and 70s, like when the 70s started, but like mainly the beginning, like the early 80s, the late
Mm-hmm.
70s, early 80s, you
Right.
can tell who was hip hop by the way they dressed.
Yes.
As
Yes.
the way hip hop evolved now, you can't tell by who's hip hop by the way they dress because
Mm-hmm.
people wear everything to do hip hop. I've seen people wear kilts. I've seen people wear three-piece suits. I've seen people dress. I've seen MCs, female MCs dressed like nuns. So you cannot tell who's, by the way it's hip, by the way fashion, by the way of hip hop, right? So I feel it's evolved in that way. But to me, it's better because it makes it seem more like everybody can get into it, and I like that fact.
I don't
I don't
agree.
like I don't like hip hop having a uniform. And it had
Mm.
a uniform at one. Remember there was the chains and had the fat laces and the sneakers with no laces. You know, your jeans this way, and you got to be walking like this, and all. And it gave hip hop a uniform. But now
Right.
it still has its uniform because
Of
there's some
course.
people that you can look at and tell they're hip hop. But the
Mm-hmm.
fact that there are some people that you can look at and can't tell they're hip hop. It's like having police and having undercover police that you don't know they're
Ah,
police. It's the same
okay.
thing, right?
I got you. I got you. Because I'm still hip hop. I'm always going to be hip hop no matter
Exactly,
what.
and I like your style. I like your style, your aura, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the cool. It's like when you listen to what's the guy the singer dude that got the I hate to say this he wear the shades but they say his eyes cocked but he
Oh,
got
you're talking about what the heck is his name? I don't know. I
him
can't.
him
Yeah,
him
yeah, him.
yeah it's like his type vibe.
Who,
You know
me?
what I mean? Yeah, not I'm saying like if he was to have a get together in his house, you would be there.
Right.
You
I
feel
would
me?
be.
It's his type vibe, and everybody just chilling, drinking wine, and just cooling. You know what I'm saying? And laughing and
Spitting the
joking, like
dope
playing
rhyme.
cards and shit. It's a dope
Yes,
vibe.
yes,
And that's
yes.
the type vibe I like. I like it.
Spitting the dope rhyme or
Yeah. Somebody stand up and do a little poetry.
the little
You know what I mean?
poetry. But I still dress. I always wear jeans. I
Right,
always wear my sneakers on my boots. I don't dress up. I never like dressing up like that. That's not
right,
me.
right, right.
I've always been. I used to have the cornrows in my hair and the hoop earrings. I still wear the hoop earrings. I'm still hip hop, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. So
All right,
you
all right.
know. So here we go. Next question. How do you feel hip hop culture has been documented and portrayed in the media from the 80s and 90s till today?
When they first started portraying hip hop in the media, it was more about partying and dancing. This and that.
Mm,
Now. When you look at hip hop now, it's more like a strip club.
Yes.
I was watching the award show, one of the award shows, where it was about hip hop, and every artist that came on there had a bunch of girls dancing,
Yes.
stripper shit. And I
Yes.
was like, is this what hip hop is now? Okay, it's art and all that, but is this it? Is this what we're talking about now? Does every MC have to do that? Do every? It's
Yeah.
like I
I
don't
agree.
need to see that on every act. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not doing nothing fantastic. The main step is turn around and shake your ass, and
Right.
that's it. And
Right.
how many times have I do I have to look at people shaking their ass in every performance?
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I get it. These young cats, and this is what you want, and I get it. But at some point, somebody got to say, okay, we're going to have two acts like that, and
Right.
we're going to move on from that type of act because it
Right.
don't make sense for you to have 15 acts and every act is the same shit.
Right.
Everybody shaking their ass. Nobody
Right.
doing nothing fantastic. Like
Yes.
Janet Jackson may have dancers come out and they do dancing. It may be a
Mhm.
little ass shaking here, but they dancing.
Right.
These chicks is doing nothing but twerking the whole damn thing.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
whole thing. Now, walk past each other, twerk. Walk the other way, twerk. Face you, twerk. Face that way, twerk. Then spin around and twerk. And
And
that's the step.
and that's it. Just
That's
twerk.
it.
They just twerking.
They twerking. Whatever they do, they stop and start twerking. I don't
Yep.
give a fuck. One of them could trip and fall. When that bitch get up, she gonna start twerking. That's it. The whole thing.
Fucking Mike.
The whole
Before
thing is twerking.
listen, before I ask you the next question, did you see the movie The Get Down?
Yes, 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 yes.
That is the closest to
To hip hop.
80s hip hop
Yes.
ever.
The guy that wrote the Get Down
Mm,
got the inspiration to write the Get Down from Hush Hip Hop tours. He came on the Hush Hip
absolutely.
Hop tour, and I guess I think he probably was on the one when Kaz was hosting it, or Kaz
Yeah.
was the guy, and he went back home and he wrote the Get Down.
That was a
You
dope
know?
movie. That was a dope
That's what's up.
series.
Yeah.
I still every now and then watch it again because I love watching. It makes me melancholy, and I think about the good old days.
All right.
So now here, next question.
Okay.
How do you think the message and themes in hip hop have evolved since the 80s and 90s?
Well, like I said before, the message is the same. Everything is I'm getting money and nobody's saying nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's saying nothing. I don't
Mm-hmm.
give a fuck how these records are selling. Nobody's putting out any real messages like they used to. And I'm not, like I said earlier, I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. I'm not knocking them or whatever. But I just feel that when you have that type of platform, you should
Mm-hmm.
try to put some of it in your music. Try to say something positive. Put something in your music because you know people are listening. You
Right.
can't make every record about shoes or how much money you making or how much ass and how much this and that you getting. How
Right.
about doing some type of help? This is why I like MCs like Lupe Fiasco,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, like people like that, or J. Cole. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when they talking, you don't hear all of that in their music all the time. It's not about that all the time. They're not balling all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what we need more of. We need more.
Yes.
We need more of that type of music to bring us back to that feel. Remember the feel you had when you was growing up and you heard R&B music, or you just hear regular music, you hear Marvin
Yes.
Gaye, or
Absolutely.
something come on, and you go, "Oh, that's my song." And you may be
Yep.
chilling with your friends and all that. We need that feeling back, and we
Yeah.
don't have that feeling. When I'm walking across 125th Street, and I don't hear these songs unless somebody's playing them, trying to sell me a DVD or a CD or something. But
Right.
when you walk and you don't hear, remember when we used to grow up and every record shop had like a big speaker right there, and they played these
Yes.
songs, and the
Yes.
radio played these songs, and you fell in love with music itself. And what made
Mm-hmm.
you fall in love with hip hop is because we finally found a way to take that music and do something with it, and you fell in love with hip hop through
Right.
that. You know what I mean? We don't
Right.
have that anymore. So how are we gonna fall in love with anything now when we don't have that to guide us to it? Everything now is shake your ass, and you know what I'm saying? And I got holes in different area codes. all of that shit there. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'm not, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that, especially with the trap music is cool, I guess. My kids and my grandkids, I don't want them to come at me. I don't worry about nobody out there, but my kids and grandkids coming at me because they love this type of music. You know what I'm saying? They love trap music, all that. Like my granddaughter Manaya, when she sees me, she be like, "Oh, Grandpa, when are you going? You just so old, Grandpa." Like when you gonna stop? And I always tell my granddaughter, you don't stop rocking because you get old. You get
You
old
get
because you
old because
stop
you stop
rocking.
rocking. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna stop rocking. So Grandpa
Right.
never getting old. So you watch my smoke. You
That's
know,
right. That's
and that's
right.
how that go with me. All right.
That's right, Grandpa. All right, Grandpa.
You know,
So, who were some of your biggest influences in hip hop in the 80s?
in the '80s, some of my biggest influence were the Cold Crush Brothers, Grandmaster Caz.
Okay.
My boys Treacherous 3, Mo and L.A. K.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Right.
Ooh, boy. Uh,
Yes, yes.
Love Bug Starsky, DJ Hollywood.
Right.
Wow. Uh,
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
even give props to Curtis Blow because Curtis, like, it wasn't as hard as he could have put, but I loved the way Curtis' flavor was. I thought he was amazing when
Yeah.
I was growing up. You know, these people like really made me feel like, yo, you can't help but be inspired. You can't help but love the way they did hip hop, and everybody had their own style. That's
Right.
what made the Fearless Four, because all four of us have our own styles, our own different type of flavor. And when we
Right.
come together and melt that pot, baby,
Yes.
you
Yes.
getting a stew. You know what I mean? So that's what I liked about these groups. Treacherous 3, everybody was different. Funky 4+1, everybody was different. The Cold Crush Brothers, my brother Grandmaster Caz was the head. And I've never seen a group like the Cold Crush Brothers till this day. Because
Right.
they was the ones that really rocked me. Like I was in love with Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Right.
I've never heard people rhyme like that. I mean, the way they did it made me want to do it my way. So they really inspired me a lot. But girl,
Yeah.
I went to Harlem World one night.
Uh-huh.
And the Cold Crush was setting up the microphones. I never seen them. I never met Caz. I never seen these niggas. I never even heard none of them before. I never heard a tape of them.
Right.
And I remember they were setting the mic, and this girl said, "Who you supposed to be?" And one of them was setting the mic. It was KG. Said, "Us? We the cold crushing motherfucking tough ass 4 MCs." I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Damn." So my mind like, yo, these niggas better be bad in the motherfucker. I can't wait to see these niggas. And let me tell you, from the moment they got on to the moment they walked off that stage,
Right.
I was like this.
Yes.
I've never seen nobody
You was
come over and
starstruck.
rock the house like that ever. I never seen these niggas. I never even heard these niggas. But after they left that night, I couldn't stop talking about them niggas. These
And you was
niggas came
ready.
on and threw on a record, and as the nigga kept cutting the record, they sung song after song after song and connected songs. And while they connected songs, they took songs from the radio and changed the words and made it
Wow.
about them and kept going back to back to back to back, and they rocked that shit. Now you hear me? They
Yeah.
rocked that shit. They walk after they rhymed, they walk up the stage and dropped the microphones and walked up the stage. And they had 4 different guys. One of the guys, JDL, he was like the old dirty bastard type dude. You know what I'm saying? And he was just crazy. Then you had the pretty boy doing AD. Then you had KG. He was like the muscular dude, like ready to fight. Then you had the Captain Kaz, and all 4 of them was totally different. And they was the most phenomenal MCs I ever seen in my life. Until this day, Kaz is my best friend. Till this day, I tell him you one of the baddest motherfuckers I ever seen. You was the one that you made me want to stay in this game.
Wow. Listen, that's dope.
Yeah.
So now, question number 12 is pretty much similar to what you just discussed, but I want you to try to find another specific moment or experience that encapsulates the essence of hip hop during the 80s and 90s. I'm sure you have a million of them.
I got a million. Another one. I told you about the one where LL came out, right?
Right, right.
Another one. Let's see. There are a few. Oh, okay. This one. Oh damn, I don't know if I should tell you this.
You ain't got
Yeah,
no names, no names. You ain't gotta say no names to
yeah.
protect the innocent.
No, I ain't gonna tell you one of those type stories.
Uh,
We talking hip hop, not flip hop.
right.
Not hip hop. All right. Let's see. How did this? Let me see. We was oh this is a all right, yeah, okay. We were doing the show,
Mm-hmm.
The Fearless Four.
Mm-hmm.
Us, New Edition, and what's the name of that group that go uh Wicked. And that's the day,
I know the song, but I don't know the group. I don't know the group.
and them and I forgot somebody else. And we got to the show late.
Mm-hmm.
Because we was arrogant. Russell Simmons was our manager, and he would tell us what time we had to be there, whatever. He would say, "I'm gonna send y'all a car." We like, we don't want no car. We're going ourselves. And by us doing that, we would be late. That's why
Right.
what ended us with him here. So
Ah,
we got to the show so late that they didn't let us get on. Right.
right.
So we said, "Fuck it." We walked out the front door, but when we were leaving, the show was over, and we
Mm-hmm.
walked out the front.
Mm-hmm.
And when we walked out the front, the fans like attacked us.
Right.
So we ran and they chased us all the way around the block because we
Oh.
told the limo to meet us in the front. But the
Uh-huh.
limo went to the back and we went out the front.
Oh
And they
shit.
chased us all the way around. I remember Tito got his clothes ripped. DLB, they grabbed it. They pulled his beads out his hair. They took I had like a little fur thing. They snatched that off. And it's like when you're growing up as a kid and you see the girls chase the Beatles, the first thing in your mind is, shit, I'll stop and let them get me. Come on, girls. And that's so dangerous. Yo, they're not trying to come and touch you and kiss you. They're trying to grab stuff and rip your clothes off, and then the dudes don't like you with their girls, so they're reaching and trying to hit you and swinging at you
Wow.
and trying to
Wow.
rob you. So you
Mhm.
go through all of that trying to get to the car. And
Wow.
oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that happened. That happened.
And so how did you get out of that situation? What
We made it to the car. The car was in the back. We ran to the car. We jumped in a limo, and he started speeding off.
Goodness gracious.
They
That must have been
chased the
scary.
car, but we kept going.
Wow.
But when we got inside the limo, we was all everybody was all mad. We was mad. Everybody blaming each other.
I
You
guess
know
you
what I'm
learned your
saying?
lesson,
Yeah,
right? You learned-
it was crazy. It was crazy.
All right. So now next question. What would you say was the biggest misconception about the hip hop culture in the 80s?
The biggest misconception.
Misconception. Mm-hmm.
Uh, See, the '80s was strange because the '80s was when we were more conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we're being more conscious, '90s came and then everything just changed.
Right.
Right? So the '80s was we were more conscious. You know what I'm saying? It was more about the red, black, and the green.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? More rappers would make more positive songs. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Nobody was making songs about hurting and killing. It got
Right.
to one point that we went maybe a year, maybe 2 years when you didn't hear the word bitch on the record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it had changed a lot. That's what it was about back
Mm-hmm.
then. It
Mm-hmm.
changed when it got to the '90s. And
Yes.
once we started doing gangster rap, and then gangster rap, whenever you make something, it's with anything, you try to make the next one better or the next one deeper or harder, so to speak. So, excuse me. If you can remember, there was a point where they would play records, and if you had a curse word on your record, they wouldn't play your record.
Or they would bleep it out. No, they
No,
bleep it
bleep
out
it out
now.
came
They bleep
later.
it out now.
First,
Right. Right.
first they didn't play it at all. Then
Right.
they
Right.
had okay, now the record's so popular, they have to play it. Then they start bleeping it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Or making radio edits.
yeah, they'll make radio edits, or
Mm-hmm.
they'll make a certain version where there's no curse words in that
Right.
version. They don't do that anymore. Now they'll play most of them with the curse words. If you hear the word ass, you hear the word bitch. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear the word motherfucker too much, but you'll hear ass and bitch in regular songs.
Yep. Yep.
In regular songs, right? I met Tank the other night for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I did a show in well, I didn't do a show. I was in Albany. Yeah, and I ended up performing. So yes, I did do a show. I ended up, but I was in Albany recently, and I met Tank
Okay.
the other night, and I was telling Tank that one of my favorite songs is a song that he has called "When We Fuck."
Okay.
You ever heard that song before?
No, I did not.
Google that song. Go get that
Okay.
song on YouTube.
Okay.
It's so sexy and romantic. It's one of my favorite songs. Like you put that shit on when you trying to get your thing going on, and the mood flows with that shit. Oh
Uh-huh.
my god! Oh my god! I had to tell him, yo, B, that song, bro. Yeah, oh man.
That's crazy. All
Yeah.
right. Next question. How has representing your roots and cultural background influenced your music and message during the 80s? So, how has representing your roots and cultural background influenced your music and message during the 80s and 90s?
Well, my roots is just basically, you know, growing up during the time when it was pimps and hoes and all that in the street. But
In
I
Harlem, yeah,
didn't mess
back in
with
the
none of
day.
that. I
Right.
didn't mess with none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My parents kept me away from all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? My
Mm-hmm.
brother kept me away from all of that shit. There, so my roots was basically if I wasn't outside playing, and back then we played sports. You know, we played baseball and basketball and football. Kids don't play that now unless they playing it on the Xbox or PlayStation.
Right.
They don't
Right.
even be outside. Basketball courts be empty and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying? So
things change. Things change. Things have
yeah.
changed.
So all of that and just growing up and just wanting to be an entertainer, watching people on TV entertain. Like before hip hop, my favorite group was the Jackson Five,
Mm-hmm.
New Magic, and anytime the people would be on TV on Soul Train and anything like that, I would watch them and love the way they performed and always wanted to do that. So that influenced me to be an
Right.
entertainer. Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
West influenced me to be a MC, and Cold Crush and Treacherous 3 and Melly Mel and all them influenced me to write the way I wanted to write and don't hold my pen back on nothing, express that shit. And those are my influences. You know?
Okay. You did your own. You wrote your own. Your own
I wrote my own
rhymes.
stuff. I wrote my own stuff. Only thing that I didn't write and when DLB wrote Problems of the World. He wrote the whole record. We
Okay.
each say two rhymes. DLB wrote every rhyme in that record. He wrote everything. Right.
Right.
I wrote some of Rockin' It, my rhyme Rockin' It, but DLB wrote like DLB's like the writer when it comes to our records.
Right. Right.
He writes most of the record.
Mhm.
And then when we do our own freestyles, we write our own rhymes.
Okay.
So that's how that goes.
Okay. So now the last question is a two-part question. Question 15 and 16. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. How does today's catalog of music compare to the golden age of hip hop? And as a pioneer, are you satisfied with that or are you disappointed? Mm-hmm.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Comparing
Yes.
today's music with yesterday's music, so to speak.
Yes. Yes.
There's no real comparison. To me, you know, yesterday's music will always be on top. But like I always tell people, that's because I'm from that. And that's what I was raised on. That's what I created. So I'm gonna love it. It's like having a child. Hip hop is
Mm-hmm.
like my baby. My rhymes are like my baby. Hip
Right.
hop is like my baby. You're gonna always love your child. You know what I mean?
Right.
No matter
Right.
what, you're gonna love your child. So that's like my
Right.
child. I'm gonna always love that. Now we look at today's music. I'm not gonna say I hate today's music because I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't like it as much but it's some songs that I do like. I like J. Cole. I like Jay-Z. I
Mm-hmm.
like Cardi B's first joint. Those my mother shoes. You know
Yeah, I
what I'm
like
saying?
those. I like that one too.
I like that. You know, um, but I don't like everything. I don't like all this other stuff out here. I like for instance like Kanye West. I loved Kanye West when he first came out. When he first
Hmm.
started, I said, "Yo,
Yes,
who is this
yes.
dude?" Because he was so common, but his
Hmm.
shit was so fun with it. I thought it was fly, but now, you know, I'm not saying he crazy or nothing like that. Because people, Kanye not crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with fucking Kanye.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I hate when people say you're crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with this nigga. He know what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's making some mistakes along the way. He'll figure
Yeah.
it. You know, he's
Now.
human.
Mm-hmm. So now, where is Fearless for today? Where are they today?
We're
With
still we're still together. We still perform. We perform. You know, we didn't really we would perform like once every year and 2 years or whatever. But ever since well actually before hip hop's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
we had gotten back together and we started booking shows and performing and doing stuff.
Okay.
You know, only person that's not with us is Tito.
Okay.
And that's because Tito is, you know, he kind of alienated himself from everybody. You know, he's on his journey with God right now.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I know about. Tito did come out on August, was it the 11th? August 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Tito came to the park where we were performing before I went to go perform in Yankee Stadium.
Right.
And Tito came, and I wasn't there, but he came while Peso was there. It was supposed to be a surprise from Peso to me and Tito was. And
Right.
Tito said, "Yeah, man, I'm coming back or whatever." And we didn't hear anything from him from that after that.
Well,
But
I
I'm
hope
sure,
we all
but
get
but
together.
I can say this live on the air, and I mean this from my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Tito decides to come back, Tito is automatically back and doing whatever he want to do when it comes out. He's down with our group. He's down with the Fields for.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And we're never going to replace him. There's no replacement for any of
Mm-hmm.
us. There's no
Mm-hmm.
replacement.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. We're not going to look for somebody to replace Tito. There's nobody could ever replace Tito.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But whenever he decides that he wants to come back, he's more than welcome to come back and stand right there next to me like he always did.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Nah,
So sweet.
that's just
Now, one more
that's how
thing.
we feel.
I need to ask you one more thing. Spit something for us before we go, because we're about to be out of here.
Really, really, I
Yeah,
got
come on, Mike. You
all
got
right.
to.
Something real quick. All right.
Go ahead.
All right. You big silly Millie Vanilli, your Huckleberry Hillbilly, thought our front water stunt. You smoking too many feeling blunts. What's your flavor, kid? Do you know what time did with mine's many lines now that all of my rhymes said, man, I'm harder than the motherfucker, strong as an ox, and I'm pumping more lead than Red got Fox, then Goldie got locks, then Chicken got pox. Y'all ran up in pebbles more than Bed got rocks. I'm the mighty Mike C, you better get it, get with it. The boy's so cool and I'm always rockin' fitted. And if you want some, you better come to me. Hey, Mona, won't you rock with the mighty Mike C?
Thank you, Mike.
All right.
Thanks so much, y'all. I really appreciate you coming out, hanging out with me for this
Thank you.
hour.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
so good to hear you. I'm so glad that everybody's okay in the family's school. And
Everybody's cool. Thank you so much.
we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right, baby.
Have a good one. Good night,
All
everybody.
right. All right.
Feel us out. Peace.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. Are we gonna end the stream now? We're done here. So listen, I hope y'all had a great time hanging out with me and Mike C. We meet every Monday here at 7 p.m. on all major platforms. You can send me an email on Facebook, Mona Baudet, or just follow me on. And you can follow me, look for me all online, and any one of my streaming platforms. You can find me and send me an email or whatever. Okay. So I want to thank y'all again. I was very nervous, but thank you. I got through it. We're good. So we're gonna get off of this for now, and then me and Tamika's coming back on, and we're gonna hang out with y'all so y'all can hang out with us for a little while. All right. So I see you. Hey everybody, this is Mona Baudet, and I'm excited to welcome all of you to my new podcast, Uptown with Mona. You may have heard me before, hanging with JP Justice in the morning, or sometimes the afternoon, or maybe even the evening. But now, here we are on my podcast, where we will be engaging with various hip-hop artists, poets, and entrepreneurs. So come listen and hang out with Mona Baudet and Uptown with Mona. They love Mona. They don't love JP.